Okay, boys and girls, a brief tutorial on how to make a comet. What you see here is a couple of comets that I have made for my own solar system, the one that I sort of use to debug some things about Celestia. So let's take a look at each line, pretty much each line. Obviously, the name of the comet that I have is Coleman. The star that it orbits is HIP 64550. You would add this line class comet, as you have done for planets and moons before. This mesh is Golevka, which is an asteroid in our solar system. It's a strange, weird shape that will give your comet a strange and wonderful shape. Then onto that comet, you paint the texture that I use, dactyl JPEG. You can find other textures there. Appropriate choices of textures, we can talk about that. Notice that your comets are going to be relatively small, usually between 3 or 4 or 5 kilometers, maybe. Big ones are maybe 20 kilometers. That's a huge comet. Some of them are as small as only 1 kilometer in radius, so you can use that. Here's the orbit part. You know all about the orbit part. The orbit part begins and ends with a curly bracket. The period of the comet is determined by the semi-major axis. The period is in years, and the semi-major axis is in astronomical units. This particular comet has a semi-major axis of 47 astronomical units. It's way out there. This part is important, the eccentricity. The eccentricity of your comets are going to be fairly high, certainly above 0.6, very close to 1, 0.99343, for example, let's say. The inclination, these comets are not in the ecliptic. They're tilted all over the place. This can be a number, any number between 0 and 360. And if it's greater than 180 degrees, that means the comet orbits retrograde in the wrong direction. You can try doing that. These three numbers, remember, are random angles between 0 and 360. Put whatever numbers you want in there. The rotation period of a comet, 7.543 hours. They rotate, they spin in anywhere between 5–10 hours, something like that, fairly quickly. The obliquity is how far over they're tilted. You can put any angle between 0 and 360 there. The albedo of your comet is going to be fairly small, 0.03. These things are dark. They're almost black. Okay, let's take a look at the second comet really quickly and see how it's similar to the first one that I made. This is a comet that I call Grimshaw. I put the 53P Grimshaw because comets, if they're periodic comets, get this designation, a number and then the letter P, if they show up every 200 years or less. Once again, there's the name of the comet, or class rather, is comet. This is another mesh with the CMOD extension. We'll take a look at the mesh or the models folder, which has all your meshes. I'll show you that in a minute. There's the texture that I paint onto there. This comet, once again, is only 3 kilometers in diameter. Whoa, this one has a period of 2,200 years. Its semi-major axis is 174. You put it way out there. This eccentricity also very near to 1. The inclination between 0 and 360, randomize it nicely. And then again, these three numbers somewhere between 0 and 360. The rotation period is 7.5 hours. It's tilted over as it's rotating by 73 degrees. And again, I chose an albedo of 0.03. That's how you make comets. They're just like everything else that you've been making, with some essential differences in the orbit. And of course, you do want to add a mesh. So there you go. Let's take a look at these folders that have these meshes. In your Celestia installation, at least for PCs, there is a folder named Models. And in Models, you see all sorts of files, some ending with a CMOD, CMOD, or CMS. There might be some with 3DS. Ariadne is a asteroid that has a particular shape to it. Now, if you were to try to open these, Windows is going to get all upset and saying, do you want to open this type of file? Nope, you don't know how to open that because you don't have a 3D modeling program on your computer, probably. So that's where to find these meshes. You can just pick any one of these at random just for fun to see what the shape looks like.